Imagine someone suddenly says your name in front of a crowded room, and every face turns to look at you. Or you trip in public, or a secret slips out, or a person you like pays you an unexpected compliment. In that instant, you feel it, a rush of warmth climbing up your neck and into your cheeks. Your face flushes red, and the worst part is, you cannot stop it. You can't hide it, you can't will it away, and the harder you try, the deeper the color spreads. You have just blushed, and in doing so, you've broadcast your inner state to everyone watching. Now here's the strange part. Of all the things your body does, blushing may be the one that makes the least evolutionary sense, and figuring out why you do it reveals something surprising about what it means to be human. Think about how odd blushing really is. Almost everything your body does under stress is designed to help you. Your heart races to fuel your muscles. Your pupils widen to let in more light. But blushing seems to do the opposite of helping. At the exact moment you feel most exposed, most embarrassed, most desperate to disappear, your body lights up your face like a signal flare and announces your discomfort to the entire world. It hands your secret feelings to everyone around you. If you were designing a creature to survive and compete, the last thing you'd give it is a built-in feature that publicly betrays its weakest, most vulnerable moments. And yet here you are, equipped with exactly that. It seems to make no sense at all. And it is, as far as we can tell, uniquely human. No other animal blushes. Charles Darwin was fascinated by this. In his book on the expression of emotions, he called blushing the most peculiar and the most human of all expressions. He pointed out something crucial, that blushing isn't triggered by physical things like heat or exertion alone, but by thinking about what other people think of you. You blush because you're aware of yourself as seen through someone else's eyes. An animal that acts purely on instinct, without worrying about its reputation in the minds of others, has no reason to blush, and doesn't. Blushing requires a mind that cares deeply about how it appears to other minds. Now, the mechanics themselves are strange. When you blush, your body's involuntary nervous system, the same automatic system that controls your heartbeat and digestion, causes the tiny blood vessels in your face to widen. More blood rushes to the surface of your skin, and your cheeks turn visibly red. What makes the face special is that these facial blood vessels respond to emotional and social triggers in a way that the vessels in most of your body do not, and critically, you have no conscious control over it. You cannot choose to blush, and you cannot choose to stop. That total lack of control looks, at first, like the ultimate flaw. But it turns out to be the key that unlocks the entire mystery. Because the leading explanation for blushing takes that apparent weakness and flips it completely around. The very fact that you can't fake it and can't suppress it may be exactly the point. Here's the idea. Blushing may be an honest signal, an involuntary apology written across your face. Think about when you blush. It's usually when you've broken some social rule, made a mistake, been caught out, or received attention you're not sure you deserve. And in those moments, your reddening face silently communicates something powerful to everyone watching. It says, I know I slipped up. I know this is awkward. I care what you think, and I'm not shameless about it. Psychologists like Mark Leary have described blushing as a kind of nonverbal apology, a remedial gesture that helps smooth over social friction without a single word. And because you cannot possibly fake it, it is completely believable. Anyone can say sorry. Not everyone can turn red on command. Your blush is proof that your embarrassment is genuine. And this matters enormously for a deeply social species like ours. Researchers have actually tested it. In a series of studies, the psychologists Corine Dijk and Peter Jong, working in the Netherlands, showed people scenarios in which someone committed a small social mishap or transgression, sometimes blushing afterward, sometimes not. And the results were striking. When the person blushed, observers judged them more positively. They were seen as more trustworthy, more likable, and more deserving of forgiveness. The blush signaled that this was someone who recognized the rules, who felt the weight of the moment, who cared about the social bond. In other words, the very thing that feels like public humiliation is actually doing you a quiet favor. It's repairing your relationships, softening judgment, and marking you as a person worth trusting. Suddenly, blushing makes a strange kind of sense. In a species that survives by cooperating, by living in tight groups where reputation and trust are everything, a signal that you genuinely care about others' opinions is enormously valuable. An unfakeable, automatic display that you feel embarrassment, that you have a conscience, that you're not a threat, could be worth far more than the momentary sting of turning red. Blushing may be the body's way of saying, out loud and without permission, I am one of you, I play by the rules, and I feel it when I fail. It's less a betrayal than a bond. Now, I have to be honest with you, because the science here is not fully closed. Blushing is genuinely difficult to study, and not everyone agrees. Some researchers think its social signaling role is powerful and clear, while others suspect blushing might be partly a byproduct of how our nervous system is wired, rather than a trait selected purely for communication. The appeasement idea is the leading explanation, and a compelling one, but the full evolutionary story of why humans, and only humans, turn red is still being worked out. What almost everyone agrees on is that blushing is bound up tightly with self-consciousness, with our unique ability to imagine ourselves through the eyes of others. And there are smaller wonders folded into it too. Blushing tends to appear in childhood, around the age when children first become truly self-aware and start to care about what others think of them, a milestone in the growing human mind. The more you fear blushing, the more likely you are to do it, a cruel little loop that can trap people in real distress. And although a blush is easiest to see in paler skin, the reaction itself, the rush of warmth and blood to the face, happens across all skin tones, often felt as heat, even when it's less visible. It is a truly universal human response, wired into our social brains from an early age. So the thing that feels like your body betraying you at the worst possible moment may be one of the most quietly sophisticated social tools you own. Not a flaw, not a glitch, but an honest badge of your humanity, an involuntary confession that you belong to a species that lives and dies by trust, that cares what others think, and that cannot help showing it. So the next time someone says your name in front of a crowded room, and every face turns toward you, and you feel that rush of warmth climbing up your neck and into your cheeks, and you know, helplessly, that you are turning red, remember what you are really doing. You are not failing, and you are not weak. You are sending an ancient, honest signal that no words could ever match, telling everyone around you that you are human, that you care, and that you feel it. Such an ordinary, mortifying little thing, to blush, and such an extraordinary one